Anjali Patel. My ID is 22DC089. I am going to explain two process model, which is waterfall process model and agile process model. Now let's start with the waterfall process model. Basically, waterfall model is the first SDLC model which is widely used in software engineering. As we can see, every cascading component show the waterfall. That is why it is called waterfall model. Now, if we there are 6 components like requirement, design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance. If you want, and waterfall model can go in the forward direction. There is no reverse direction. So if we complete these 3, then if we find an error in this, then we cannot like go in a reverse direction. So first is the requirement. In this, there is first is the communication. The communication between customer and development team. In this, they discuss about what is the function, their requirement, and the functionality, performance, and other things. In the basis of their requirement, they create a one document. And then next go in the design part, and in this design part they discuss about what kind of in the requirement, as per the requirement they design a particular things like flow chart, algorithm, database design. Suppose we have one sign up page, then after a sign up page what kind of page will be there, this kind of discussion will be in the design part. Next is development. In the development, developer decide the coding part, and they develop in a small units and test the small unit according to its functionality. And then next is the testing part. The tester taste the whole coding, whether it running or not, and basis on that they report to the next one, and then they deploy to the customer in the market, and basis on their review, timely maintenance is required. So basically, waterfall, in the waterfall model, if you want some changes, there can be in this maintenance phase only. There is not in between this model. So it take more time than other model. So the advantages is it is used for small model and easy to understand and simple. So before next phase is completed, before there are should be completed. So changing in software is made by during the process. It is documented, and the disadvantages, there are no feedback. That is why there are high risk, no experiment during the process. Error can be fixed at the last phase of the process, and not suitable for where there are required many changes in the software. Not good for complex software making. Now let's start with the agile process model. So basically, in this today's digital era, each and every software like shopping software like Flipkart, Amazon, and Instagram, WhatsApp uses agile process model. Agile means change in technology and requirement and people. So this is the diagram of the agile process model, which is planning, designing, development, testing, deployment, review, and launch. Suppose customer wants some application like Instagram, and their requirement is follow, unfollow, edit profile, search, messaging, go live, upload story, reel making, post photos. According to customer priorities, they decide. Let's take 3 first, like follow, unfollow, edit, profile and search. So they plan these three things: design, development, testing and deploy to the customer. Then take the review from the customer, and again three things will be taken in the planning, and then again changes these three, and again plan these planning, designing and deployment to the customer. Again take the feedback of the customer, and basis on that they make changes. So the agile process model is iterative. That means it will there will be more than one iteration according to the requirement. There is some advantages like customer satisfaction and involvement in the and strong communication between them. Little planning is required for the efficient design. There are anytime changes in the software are acceptable. Updated version release every week, and reduce development time because there is an interaction between customer and team. There is some disadvantages like lack of proper documentation because every iteration there are review are taken by the development team. There is no such a documentation in this process, and depends heavily on a customer interaction.
Hello, I am Tanvi Patel from Depstar CE and my ID is 22DCA084. So today I am going to discuss incremental model. So in incremental model, it is also known as successive development model. So which means that in every successive step of the development of a particular software, some iterations are added, and then it is proceeded further. So as you can see in this diagram, A is a process step number 1. And then in step number 2 some B is also added. So that means some iterations are added. And similarly in step 3 some other iterations are added. So it means that the software requirements are broken or divided into some standalone modules. So each of these increment is treated as a sub project and goes through all the phases of the software development life cycle. So now this is the diagram of the incremental model. Now let us discuss the diagram. So incremental model has some phases. These are design and development, testing and implementation. So now consider this as a process 1. So this is the process 1, and now this is the process 2. So now coming from process 1 to process 2, some iterations will be added in the process 2. Similarly, when coming from the process 2 to process 3, some other iterations will definitely be added. Now let us discuss the types. There are two types of incremental model: staged delivery and parallel development. So in staged delivery, only the one part of the project is executed at a time, and whereas in parallel development, simultaneous development occurs, so which has an edge over the staged delivery model. So some of the advantages of the incremental model, it prepares the software very fast. Client has a clear idea to the project. If some changes have to be occur in the future, they are easy to execute and implement. And it also provides a risk handling support. So let's discuss some of the disadvantages. So proper planning is required in this incremental model. The cost increases rapidly, and if some issue or something is occurred, then it takes a lot of time for debugging. So which is a major disadvantage for it. Now some of the applications to the incremental model. So this incremental model is used in large system development, parallel development, resource allocating and client collaboration. So now let's discuss the iterative model. So consider the client has given some software requirements and we have to create a software out of it. So we have created the first version of the software. Now client wants some additional features to get added into that software. So we will not make the whole new software out of it, but we will just make the change in the first version of it. So this is and make the new version of the software. So that is the system which is followed by iterative model. So this is the diagram of the iterative model. So some of its phases are requirement analysis, design, testing, implement, review, deployment and maintenance. So first of all, the requirement and analysis. So requirements are taken by, requirements have been taken by the customers and clients, and an analyst gets to see that these requirements are fulfilled or not. Design. So in this design stage, the whole draft is get designed up with the help of the flow diagrams, class diagrams and activity diagrams. Then comes the implementation stage in which the requirements are written in the coding language and then are transformed into the software. Then comes the testing stage. So in this testing stage, the software is tested with the help of the black box, white box or grey box methods. Then comes the deployment. So after completing all these phases, the software is deployed in the work environment. Review. So in this review stage, the behavior of the product is checked in the working environment. Then comes the maintenance stage. In this maintenance stage, the product is maintained in the particular environment. So this is the diagram. So this is the first iteration, this is the second iteration, and this is the third iteration. So as a client have used some changes, so it is applied into this first iteration. Similarly, this is applied to the second iteration. So now let us discuss some of the advantages. So the advantage of testing and debugging is easy as we are updating in our previous version of the software. Then the programs and softwares can be changed and updated in the future. Then parallel development we can plan. So now let's discuss disadvantages. So its major disadvantage is that this model is not for the smaller projects and we need more resources for this model. Another is that we have to change the design again and again, which is a major disadvantage. Now let's discuss application. So it can be used in web development, as we know that if we build a website, we can always change the source code of its website. So it is applied in it applies iterative model. Research development project is also used in research development projects, data analysis and business intelligence.
Good morning, I am Patel Ishani. My ID is 22DC071. Today I am going to explain V and spiral model. So let's get started with V model. It is also called verification and validation model. What do we mean by verification? When we check product step by step whether it is built correctly or not, that refers to verification, and when whole design is ready and after that we check whether it is built correctly or not, that is referred to as validation. It is also an extension of waterfall model. It is explained by my friend. In V model, testing is associated with every phase of life cycle. There are in verification there are 4 different phases, and in validation there are again 4 different phases. In verification, first is requirement analysis, system design, architecture design, and module design. System, architecture, and module design are the part of designing. In validation, first is unit testing, second is integration, third is system, fourth is acceptation testing. When in verification, when we talk about requirement analysis, it's basically what we require, we gather it and we analyze on it. For system, architecture and module design, let's take an example. When we want to build a house, first we design whole house. That can be considered as system design. Then we design each and every floor, that can be considered as architecture design, and on each and every floor we design about rooms, that can be considered as module. And with each and every phase, unit testing, integration and system is running parallelly, and at the end client accept it, and at the end client accept it. So this is the diagram of V model. We have project definition and then implementation part and project testing and integration. It flows like upward to downward, then downward to upward. In project definition, we have concept of operation. With that, operation and maintenance run parallelly. With requirement and architecture, system and verification, validation runs parallelly. and detailed design, integration and verification runs parallelly. These are the testing parts. After each and every step, this runs parallelly and it tests all this together. And here we have coding, at implementation part we have coding phase. So these are the advantages of V-model. First, it is time saving. Since implementation and testing parts are done parallelly, it saves time. Good understanding of project in the beginning. Every component must be testable. After each and every implementation, it gets tested. Hence, third point is valid. Progress can be tracked and progress can be tracked easily. These are the disadvantages of V-model. First, no timely feedback, so there is less scope of changes. Second, not good for big or object-oriented project. Hence, V-model is only feasible for small project. And risk analysis is not done. And even there are more disadvantages of V-model. Application of V-model. V-model is used for a safety purpose, especially in the critical systems such as aerospace and defense system. It is mainly used in the project where there is no need of the requirement, where they don't focus on the requirement phase. Now let's talk about Spiral. Spiral is one of the most important SDLC model. It provides support for risk handling. It provides systematic and iterative approach. It looks like spiral with many loops, and the numbers of loops are unknown. So exact numbers of loops are not known. It can be varied from project to project. Each loop is known as phase, and exact numbers of phase can be decided by project manager according to the project. Hence, project manager plays an important role when it comes to spiral model. This is the diagram of spiral model. First, we have object determination and identify alternative solution. Then second, it's identify and resolve risk. Third is develop next version of product. And fourth is review and plan for the next phase. In first, requirements are gathered from the customers, and it get evaluated, and alternate possible way is proposed in this quadrant, and from all those in second phase, from all those alternative ideas which we have proposed in the first quadrant, we select the best possible idea in the second quadrant, and risk associated with it gets resolved in the second quadrant. And in third quadrant, we identify features and verify them through testing, and at the end of the third quadrant, the next version of the software is available. And in fourth, review and plan for the next phase. The customer evaluates the so far developed version of the software, and in the end, the next phase gets started. These are the some advantages of spiral model. First, risk handling. Spiral model is best known for its risk handling. It resolves unknown risk. Good for large projects. Since they are expensive, they are good for large project and not suitable for the small. Flexibility requirement. Whenever we want to change some requirement, it can be done easily with the spiral model. It improves the communication between client and the system development team, and fifth, it also improves the quality of the project. Here are the disadvantages of spiral model. First, complex. It is complex compared to other SDLC models. Expensive. It is very expensive as it is not suitable for the small projects. Difficult in time management. Since numbers of phases are not known to us, we cannot manage the time usually. Application. It is used for risk management that combines both iterative and waterfall model. These both models have been explained by my friend, and it is also used by the software engineers for large, expensive and